So, well, if you're gonna see a glitch, there was actually a biker just now.
There was a beautiful human who needed help that my friend Bella gave her phone to find his way. Wow. May we all have that much amuna and trust in God that people are good. That people are good, and we need to help them find their way. So, you can help us find our way through this story?
Yeah, Shimon ben Shoshana, may he be zachit to find his phone. Amen. Mama's like the story of our life, the stories of our head. May we learn how to trust in Hashem. So going back to Rebecca. So she was a pregnant woman, tzedekis, meaning righteous person, righteous woman. And she had, okay, if you were ever pregnant, okay, and you feel like all your organs are being pushed aside and the baby is like this and that, da da da. She had twins that were literally at war with each other in the womb. And at one point, she was so confused. She was like, what's going on? I don't understand what's happening with my body. And so what she does, she goes to this man called Eber, okay, Shem Eber. So it was actually a yeshiva, a study hall, a beit midrash. How do you say yeshiva in here? Like a school.
A school of study.
A school of study. And there were children of Noach, and they were here located in Tzfat. So if you ever want to come back to 18 karat, you can also go over there. It's a very holy place. And if you're a man, you could dip in the mikvah. Mikvah is the pure waters. Anyway, so she goes and asks for advice. Me and Miriam Rachel here, we're learning about avak lashon hara. Avak means dust. Dust of impure speech. Now, I'll give you a certain example. Like, if she asks me, go ahead, ask me a question.
What kind of question am I asking you?
Like, how did the party go?
How'd the party go?
Oh, you don't even want to know. You don't even want to know.
Oh.
That's about... Immediately you know something went down.
Not good.
Immediately
Not
you know
good.
something went down. Okay? So now, what ended up happening? She was given prophecy that one of her children was wicked. One of her children was destined to be wicked. But what did Abraham get as a promise from God? Your descendants are above nature. Now, immediately after he was birthed, Esav was birthed first, and in the Midrash it says that Esav pulled the ankle of Yaakov, the Akev. Akev means heel, and Yaakov, it was meant to be the firstborn. Pulls the heel, he was born first, and he was described to be red-fleshed, like full of teeth. Imagine like this baby, like poor baby, hairy, you know?
Yeah.
And then his brother was born. He was a perfect little boy. And
right,
so
they were complete opposites. That's why there was like so much war in Rivka or Rebecca's womb, because like she went through the hardest pregnancy ever, because like she had two opposite children like warring with each other, like literally out of who would come first and who would have the rights to the world, etc., etc.
And so now after their birth, like think about this, like if you ever were in a religious setting, and if not, like you can imagine. They were in a religious setting. They were from birth. They were religious from birth. And the expectation of Esav to fail is already in the air. Oh, Esav? He's going to fail anyway. His mother didn't even try. Maybe she did. Maybe that was lashon hara. But all the attention went to Yaakov. Like, you got this. Oh, that's the star child. Oh, Yaakov is going to be the one that's going to be the
He was always in a tent studying. He was a simple man. He really just wanted to be with God all day.
Exactly.
And Esau was in the field. He always had like swords and knives on him, and he was always hunting game, and he was always
active in the world. And he was known to be a murderer, meaning he lashed out. He lashed out, and he did the most evil things in the world, and so he was hated in the eyes of God. And I don't blame Hashem. Like, obviously, like, you're gonna murder, kill, rape, do this, da-da-da. I'm not condoning his behavior. But looking back into toxic relationship patterns, okay? Meaning from father to son to grandson to great-grandson. Meaning all of, like, if we look at the history of the Jews, or the history of the world, basically, like, there was always a favoritism
of children.
There was always someone better. There was always in the eyes of something else. But then when Yaakov rolled her, okay, so now sticking with Esav, something that came up for me. the story of Esau has been fascinating to me ever since I came to Tzfat. Ever since I learned the story in depth in the Midrash says, and I really, really recommend everybody learning it, is he was misunderstood. He wasn't given a chance. And when he was, it didn't feel authentic. Now, it says that the Messiah will come when Esau, meaning the Edomites, the Americans, or whatever you want to call it, starts healing, starts feeling loved, starts feeling held and seen.
Accepted, heard. Their good is seen.
Exactly.
In Esau. The Esau has made tshuva, which means to shuv hey, that he's returned to his true self, which is really, he's not a murderer. Maybe he did murder and he did steal and whatever, but that's not who he really is. That's not who any of us really are.
And that's why Yitzhak wanted to give him the blessing. Because he truly loved Esau. That's what it says in the Torah.
He saw the good in him.
He saw the potential of how amazing this man could be. But only if someone would believe in him. Now, Leah, Yaakov's second wife, Yaakov's first wife, but his least beloved, didn't want to marry Esau. She was afraid. And her daughter, Dinah, was destined to marry Esau. But she too was hidden from him. You see, God wouldn't create a problem if there wasn't a solution to it. And these women were the force to change destiny. Now, in 2021, or Tafshin Pei Bet, we are here to bring the redemption. We're here to understand and evolve and to take less control and more awareness of what our responsibility is. To let go and let God, and to let all of our chatter, the stories in our minds, release.
Especially about other people and judgments about who we are, about who others are. Like, what if we could live without judgments of others? What if Esau lived without any judgments of who he was? Who would he become?
Exactly.
Who would we become?
Exactly. So now, that's a story of our life. But we could change the narrative. That's why the story isn't over. We're here today. To mamish let go and believe and trust. Mamish, like literally, that we're in the hands of our Creator. May Hashem, blessed are you, may the Creator of the world, may the Master of the universe, the healer of all beings, bless all of us. That we're able to let go of the stories. That we're able to take responsibility of everything that we're meant and are able and capable of doing with confidence, grace, and humility, and as an as a team. Because at the end, Yaakov made Esau. At the end, Yaakov embraced Esau. At the end, everyone was united. Until next time, guys.
Amen!